Good morning. About 11 a.m. here on the East Coast on Saturday morning here, going for Immaculate Grid. I think this is 125 today. Just a couple notes before I get into it. Yesterday I was talking about the top left-hand corner. In fact, I'll even start sharing my screen here, so a little bit early so you guys know what I'm talking about. Washington 40 homer season. Um, the best answer by far, as you can see, there's only three answers, and the best answer by far was Alfonso Soriano. I had picked Vladimir Guerrero. Harper was the most sought after. Um, what that harkened my memory to a video I was trying to pin it. I had it in the episode description from yesterday. I can include it again today, but it was the Jolly Olive. I want to make sure I gave credit to the right content creator. Jolly Olive made a video about Alfonso Soriano's forgotten 40-40 season in 2006. And I'd even included a footnote of that in my book. There's a chapter in there about the best seasons by interlopers, that is, players that played just one season with a team before going elsewhere. And Soriano was one of my picks. And I even had a footnote in there because when I was writing the book, I originally picked another guy. I went with Greg Vaughn's Cincinnati Reds season, which I'm keeping in my back pocket for this game, originally, and then as the left fielder. And then I saw that video. I was like, "Holy cow! I forgot about Alfonso Soriano." So I included a footnote to that video even in my book. So that's how weirdly forgetful Alfonso Soriano's historic 2006 season. One that garnered him a 7-year contract with the Chicago Cubs. That's how forgetful it was. It was just a product of playing for kind of an also ran team in a tough division. So many other good MVP candidates that year. Ryan Howard, Albert Pujols, Lance Berkman were the top three. I think Beltran was fourth that season. Anyway, I just thought it was a cool little tidbit. But I'm going to get going right now. I'm going to go hit refresh here. And what the heck is this? Holy cow, we've got no teams. No teams. This is messing with me. No teams. Oh, this is gonna be an interesting one. All right. So we got 500 career home runs, Hall of Fame, Silver Slugger, Hall of Fame, MVP. Sorry, I'm not listening. Hall of Fame, Gold Glove, 300 average, matched up against 500 career home runs, Silver Slugger, and MVP. I was saying out loud the way I have to play this one. I think this is the first grid that's ever been like this. No teams. No teams at all. All right. Um, I think let's see here. Okay. This is interesting. I was reasoning out here if I was able to somewhere in here get a get someone from the Negro League, so I think that would be optimal. But I don't think anything's going to work because there's 300 averages. There's Hall of Famers. I don't think anyone got to 500 career home runs. Pretty sure of that. Just the seasons were shorter. Um, I don't think if they had MVPs, I don't think they were especially well recorded. So, um, that was I think 500 career home runs is the one I'm gonna know the best in terms of just kind of listing them out. And I think I'll play from there. This is gonna be a fun one. Okay, this is cool. This is cool. All right. So 500 career home runs. We've got Barry Bonds, who would work for Gold Glove, would not work for Hall of Fame. We've got Henry Aaron, who does work for 300 average. Willie Mays works for 300 average. Alex Rodriguez is below 300. Jim Thome, Sammy Sosa. I don't think they're going to work for these. Jim Thome is in the Hall of Fame. Um, my instinct is to say that Mel Ott is going to be valuable here because he's just barely got 500 career home runs. I'm pretty sure he had a 300 average. He's definitely in the Hall of Fame. Gold Gloves didn't exist back then. So that's one to keep in the back pocket. Frank Robinson, I think, was just below 300. Mark McGwire, Harmon Carmen Killebrew. Excuse me. I just remembered Mark McGwire did win a Gold Glove, so I'm going to save that for here. I think Reggie Jackson. I wrote in my book that go to Wikipedia and look up batting average. Reggie Jackson's the face, or as I wrote in my book, I have a whole chapter about Reggie Jackson. I think it's funny that on the Wikipedia page for batting average, they feature Reggie Jackson. He hit 300 exactly one season in his career, obviously not for his whole career. Um, and okay, yeah, this is going to be interesting. This episode is apparently brought to you by Furbo. I should start filling these in, right? Or else people are gonna stop playing. So okay, so Mike Schmidt is going to do really well on this one because he won a bunch of Gold Gloves. He's one of the best defensive and offensive third basemen of all time. He's, probably top five for both, and he's the best overall third baseman of all time. Um, Lots of Gold Gloves there. Trying to think, Barry Bonds won several Gold Gloves. He's not necessarily. I think he is kind of known for. I mean, he was a very good defensive left fielder. He was winning Gold Gloves even when you could just give Gold Gloves to any outfielder. Like the league would just award three Gold Gloves, so they could just award three Gold Gloves to center fielders who are typically the best fielders. But he was winning Gold Gloves, and I think the defensive metrics validate those Gold Gloves in Boz's case. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go with Mark McGwire. He gets 1%, off to a good start. Um, And yeah, as far as 300 averages go, Aaron and Mays definitely had 300 averages. Aaron was 305. I think I've got that right. And Willie Mays, this one I remember because actually with the inclusion of Negro League statistics as Major League statistics, Willie Mays' batting average for the longest time was 302. It actually fell 1 point, so it's actually 301, but still above 300. He'll still work here. Um, I really think Mel Ott is going to be an optimal pick here, though. Frank Thomas will also work. And then almost any of those guys other than the steroid people will work over here. So he takes 2%. 300 career average and a silver slugger. A career average and an MVP. So that's tricky because we could, as we learned the other day from this little announcement up here, in Baseball Reference, that just to explain this announcement, they basically said, "Hey, some people really like these obscure, like, people who played one game and got a hit and retired, or just never played again." Um, so I'm wondering if there'll be any good ones for MVP, but I can't think of any offhand. Let's see here. And there's going to be a bunch for this. I'm going to go. I've got a couple options in my head. I'm thinking like, actually, I'm going to do one I should have done the other day. I think it was 3,000 hits. Um, Paul Wainer won an MVP. I think it was 1927. I didn't get it the other day. I didn't know he won that MVP, or if that version, because it was pre-Baseball Writers Association of America. I didn't realize those MVPs, didn't know if those MVPs would count. I didn't know he won one to begin with. But I looked it up and he was credited with an MVP while playing for the Pirates. He's in the Hall of Fame. Let's select him. Let's see how he does. That was good. 0.06%. All right. Larry Walker will work, I think, here for one of these. Some other people with 300 career averages and silver sluggers. Um, Trying to think how we can get really obscure there. Walker would also work here. Pudge Rodriguez would be a good one here. Um, I'm trying to think what the most. I think Melot might have been up there as far as people who weren't going to get selected. Um, Jimmy Fox, just because he's, you know, an older player, a less recent player, that might be an interesting pick. I mean, it's not like anyone doesn't know, not that no one knows, but I think most people have heard of Jimmy Fox. It's just not going to like race to their mind because they didn't watch his Hall of Fame induction ceremony. I don't think anyone playing this saw Jimmy Fox get inducted in the Hall of Fame. Please comment if you saw Jimmy Fox get inducted in the Hall of Fame and you're playing this game. That would be amazing. I really want someone who's pushing 100 to comment on this video because that would be awesome. I'm gonna put Jimmy Fox. 2%. All right. This is where I'd love to see the breakdown because I'm trying to think if anyone would have done because I mean you've just got I don't know it's 25 or so people with 500 career home runs, so you probably just have a bunch of people skewed towards the more recent, but I don't think I was going to nab a .06 on this one. I don't think. Um, Hall of Fame whilst winning a Silver Slugger. I think the Silver Slugger started in the early 80s, if I'm not mistaken. Um, so like I mean, there's a bunch of people for which this will be true. Um, I just thought of one. I just thought of one. This will be good. I think. Pitching Silver Sluggers. Tom Glavine. Get it. 2%. Oh man, a lot of people thought of that. All right. Not a lot, but a fair amount. All right. 2% of people were with me on that, and I thought that was going to be way better, but 2% is still really good. So I'll take it. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think of so 300 average from people who've been playing since the early 80s or so. I'll check it out. I think the Silver Slugger started around then. Um, like Tony Gwynn will work. Uh, Miguel Cabrera will work. Albert Pujols will not work. Um, he did not finish with a 300 career batting average. It was so weird to watch. Like in those last couple of years, as his batting average while he was with the Angels would just go down and down and down. It was like 330 when he signed his 10-year deal with the Angels, and by the end it was like 296. It's so weird to see Albert Pujols without a 300 career average. Cabrera will work here. I think he'll be one of the more common ones. And keep in mind that you could have someone with a reduced sample size. Um, Trout, I think, has a 300 average, so he'll do pretty well here. As far as MVPs, I think that's actually a kind of an optimal strategy. As I'm just going to start listing off MVPs starting around 1980, and see if, and that'll also, ooh, you know what? I just thought of a good one here. Gibson. Not that one. That guy played for the Brewers in the mid 80s and had 12 career wins. This one, 0.4%. Solid. All right. So that one was pretty good because he was MVP in the 1968 season when he had that 1.12 ERA. Um, and he was one of the best fielding pitchers of all time. The Gold Glove's a little bit older than Silver Slugger. So um, pretty good there. MVP from a 300 career hitter. Again, I'm thinking like Larry Walker is one that comes to mind, but then this one is not bound the same way this one is. So you can go back a lot farther. Jimmy Fox would have worked down here. I want to say, did Gehringer, I want to say Mickey Cochran won an MVP and had over 300 average, I think. Um, let's see. I mean, Aaron or Mays would both work there. So would Musial. He won 3 MVPs. Um, I'm trying to remember exactly when the old iteration of the modern iteration of MVP with the writers vote that started in the early 30s. Um, but like the previous iterations, I think Cobb was awarded one. I think Speaker was awarded one. I think they would work. Um, but I'm just not because it's not the modern iteration. I don't think I just don't know it as well. Um, pretty sure Chuck Klein will work. Let's go Chuck Klein. He's a fun one. Early early MVP. 0.1%. All right. So did well on the MVPs. Did real well there. This one's still surprising that many people got it, but kudos to y'all who got it. Um, all right. So now's the part where I'm going to just think of M no, I guess that doesn't really make any sense. So I'll just I don't know, think of people from the 80s. I guess I could just think of MVPs and think of if they ended up with 300 career averages, but some players who've retired with 300 career averages or are active with 300 career averages and have Silver Sluggers. I think Trout will do pretty well. I think Cabrera will do pretty well. I think Pujols will be a red herring for a lot of people, is my guess. There's no way of really verifying that though. So Tony Gwynn's going to do quite well. I think Larry Walker will do well, but I think that would be a decent one. He definitely had over a 300 career average. Um, Jeter will do well. A lot of Yankee fans, no chance I'm picking Jeter. That's obviously not going to be a good idea. Um, he would also work here because he won Gold Gloves. I think he famously won Gold Gloves. Another good one. You know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it because I think it'd be funny. It'll be funny. Rafael Palmeiro, who won a Gold Glove at first base and a Silver Slugger for designated hitter in the same year. 0.8%. Oh, check it out. 1999. He wins the Gold Glove for playing first base, where he only played like 25 or so games, and wins the Silver Slugger properly as the best designated hitter in the league, which is what he was that year. Um, so far, my best guess here for this last one has been Larry Walker, in terms of what's gonna be optimal. Um, and it's kind of hard to think about because like batting average is you can have a 300 career average, and it does, and it's not that different from having a 298 career average. Um, the really high career batting averages, I have a decent feel for. But in the Silver Slugger era, I think it's most of the guys I've listed. Paul Molitor, that's another good one. Paul Molitor would work. Um, Not sure if John Olerud finished with a 300 average. I mean, he had a lot of seasons well above 300, but I don't know if he finished there. Um, I'm very sure he won Silver Sluggers though. Um, Rod Carew, I'm pretty sure he'll work. Pretty sure, but not 100% sure because he was on the downslope, I think, when Silver Sluggers came about. Um, George Brett will definitely work. So far, it's either Walker or Molitor is my best go-to. I think gonna go with Molitor. I know he hit over 300 for his career. 1%. Rarity score of 10. That's pretty good. This was a lot of fun. No teams. No teams. This was fun. We got 82,000. This is relatively early in the day. There's still 20 hours left to play this grid. So I'll probably try to play it on my phone like in the morning on you can pick any browser and just play a new game. So I'll play it on my phone, just see maybe with this exact same people and see if it's still getting, or I'll just refresh my screen. I guess I could do that. I'm kind of curious where this ends up after a full day, but usually it's pretty close. Usually it's pretty close. So let's look at our most popular ones and then we'll sign off for the day. Um, Interesting. Jeter was the most popular Silver Slugger Hall of Famer. He would have worked here, here, and here. Um, Ichiro I didn't even mention, but yeah, that's not surprising. Um, A-Rod being the top Gold Glove MVP was a little bit surprising. Um, Mantle I didn't even mention, but yeah, he'll work. He would not have worked here or here though, because and he retired with like a 298 career average. And the only reason I know that was it's something he said after his playing career was he was embarrassed he struck out so much, which the modern game doesn't care as much about. But he was also embarrassed that he like played that final year and had his average drop to from 300 to 298. Um, he was still productive. Like if you look at his adjusted OPS and everything, he was still reasonably productive in his final career season with the Yankees. But he wasn't Mickey Mantle anymore, right? Uh, like similar to Pujols, his average, which had been well above 300 for his whole career, had finally fallen under three. Um, Arenado, that's a good one, good modern one. Gwynn, I knew was going to be popular. Aaron, I figured was going to be popular. But yeah, none of these are real high percentages because there were a lot of options. Yeah, your most rare one was gonna be this one. And of these, I think I picked correctly with Melot. And I actually thought Melot's average was much higher than 304. So I got a little bit lucky there because I thought it was like in the 320s or something like that. So um lucked out. Cool. Well, this was the most unique grid we've I think had to date. Great job, Baseball Reference. It was a lot of fun to play. Keep those comments coming, and we'll play again tomorrow, maybe with some teams. We'll find out. Bye bye.